Hello everyone, today's video is part 3 of the ongoing series of the ties between the Forgotten Languages website and its cryptic content, some of which made it to the congressional record during the 2024 UAP hearing and concerning the UFO phenomenon. You can find the link to the previous episode on the screen right now. We pick up where we left, so in mid-2013. 18th of August 2013 is the date on which an article titled Communication Fabrics Communicating with Space-Time Neighbors was published. I'm going to omit the English parts of the article this time, as they do not mention anything particularly specific, but the title hints at either other civilizations in our space-time continuum, alleged future humans traveling back in time, or visits from parallel realities, all of which are a part of the broader UFO lore. The next one came on 24th of August 2013 with the title Orbs and the New Generation of Deceptive Weapons, mimicking high-energy plasma balls to obfuscate are as probes. The title alone raises an eyebrow given many mentions of orbs, orb-type UAPs, reported by civilians and the military alike, in various settings all over the world. Let's dig into the English part of the article then.
A large ball, like ball lightning, would have a bright silvery metallic appearance by day and shine brightly by night. Irregularities in the field could produce light or dark spots on a ball. The color could vary, depending on the effective surface temperature. A row of evenly spaced lights might arise from a circular form of bead lightning, which probably consists of a standing longitudinal electric current wave. Intense heat, light, and ultraviolet light would be radiated, as well as possibly radio interference or microwaves.
There we have it, plain as day. The description very well matches that of orbs, which are indeed often seen as metallic balls floating in the atmosphere, and as orbs of light of various colors at night. The electromagnetic disturbance is also a good match to the general nature of the UAP phenomenon. Next we have what looks like a snippet from an abstract of a scientific paper, also related to the technology allegedly used in UAPs. Free energy devices and electron-muon decay levitation is proposed. The levitation phenomenon is one of several plausible explanations of why and possibly how some UAPs and recently drones are observed hovering over the same location for hours. The next English part of the article says as follows.
The plasma ball is formed when a lightning stroke induces a circular eddy current in a packet of plasma adjacent to the lightning channel. As the eddy current absorbs energy from the stroke, it would necessarily exert a back EMF on the channel, causing a voltage drop across the region. This bottleneck in the channel could cause a tremendous amount of energy to become concentrated in the region transferred to the ball.
This part is accompanied by an image and might be a speculation on the plasma nature of orb-type UAPs, in my opinion at least. The next snippet also hints at this being possibly human technology, as we read. The deployment of the system over Mexico City proved how efficient these remote sensing probes are, that our orbs can be seen both with the naked eye and that they leave a radar signature, which means that the system is now mature. Let's start with the location. Mexico City itself and the country of Mexico at large actually has a relatively high number of reported UFO sightings, and the orb-like objects here described as millorbs could possibly be responsible for at least some of such sightings, as they display signatures an average person would not expect from a human-made object. The last part of the article adds a little bit of information about the electromagnetic behavior of such a probe, as we read.
Electromagnetically induced transparency, ET, may be defined as the reduction, or ideally, elimination, of resonant absorption or enhancement of transmission of a probe, also called signal, EM field in an otherwise opaque medium, via the prior application of a suitably intense, suitably tuned, suitably enveloped pump or drive or control, EM field. I may be wrong here, but this could possibly refer to the drive these orbs are using, assuming they are human tech.
The bibliographic references include other Forgotten Languages articles which are not posted from 2010, calibration of military orbs using ground geometric patterns from 2011, evaluating public and mass media reactions to military orbs and Tier 3 advanced weapons, the deployment of flotillas in Central America, and from 2012, Milorb Project Acreage Swordfish. Quite some interesting mentions, and some of those will reappear later on in the series, as we will see. The next article did not take long to appear, and now we are entering a heavy hitter territory. This one, dated 26th of August, is titled Countering the Polygraph Lessons Learned from Gizelian Prisoners. A note on the Gizelians. As we are going to see over the course of this series, these are a recurring theme and one of the alleged non-human beings covered by the Forgotten Languages website. This time we have the two snippets in English to go through. The first one says as follows.
What would be the use of the polygraph, electrogastrogram, radar vital signs monitor, facial expressions, eye blinks, saccades, laser Doppler vibrometry, LV, eye movement memory assessment, EMA and fixations, voice stress analysis, thermal imaging, and truth serums/narcoanalysis during the interrogation of a Gizelian prisoner? All those techniques will render useless because the psychophysiology of an BO is simply different.
We have here a wide array of what is effectively interrogation technology and its various applications, some of which are simple and some sound extremely sophisticated. We also see the mention of EBOs, or extraterrestrial biological organisms. This could indicate the origin of the Gizelians as being from somewhere else, as for now we have no exact point or vector of origin of those beings. And we can infer that at least a few of them were or are held captive by humans. And finally we read,
despite the polygraph's shortcomings, there is currently no viable technical alternative to polygraphy. After reviewing the EEG and fMRI deception detection efforts, as well as some other psychophysiological candidate techniques, e.g., VSA, the National Research Council concluded that some of the potential alternatives show promise, but none has yet been shown to outperform the polygraph. None shows any promise of supplanting the polygraph for screening purposes in the near term. This does not imply that these efforts have no value. On the contrary, the results to date show that these approaches have promise and may even be viable in some situations where their level of accuracy is acceptable. However, much more research is needed if these techniques are to become operationally useful and reliable in situations that require a higher level of accuracy.
It would thus seem that polygraphy, which is a technique often quoted as dubious at best, seems to be the only one that back then worked with extraterrestrial Gizelians, if we assume that this article refers to actual captures of otherworldly beings. And once again, the article carries a defense tag at the bottom. The story thus continues, and today's video is just another prologue into what we are going to possibly discover on our way onwards. If you have thoughts regarding the topics we discussed today, let me know in the comment section down below and let's discuss. Thank you for watching, like it and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you soon in another video. Take care!